Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with
Oberon.
Me, Banshee. Mr. O, I thought you'd be wearing your hat today, but you're going to premiere it on Goth Tarot, aren't you?
Of course.
He just got a great new hat yesterday at the Arts and Craft store.
I don't do drag as the Dark Bunny, so I didn't think I should wear it today.
Okay.
It's a perfect gothic, steampunk-like.
It's very cool. It's very cool. Certainly gothy. But at any rate, welcome to our show. This
Easter,
is my post-birthday show,
as Angel
where, of
Rivera.
course, I am simply surrounded by my birthday gifts.
Who loves you, baby?
Well, Arts and Crafts loves me because they let me get one for free. Mr.
That's right.
O bought a number of decks.
Yes, I brought some
He got
myself.
as many as I did, plus he got a hat.
Well, you've gotten a hat recently, too.
It's true. It's true. So at any rate...
Russ was wondering if you were going to wear an Easter hat.
Oh, you know what? I have Easter bunny ears somewhere, Russ, but I don't know where I put them. Doggone it. And Sunny, and as a matter of fact, do the cats have bunny ears? Did we get them that? No, I don't think we did. We got them a flower hat.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so maybe in the summer we'll see Sunny. We'll attempt to get Sunny in his flower hat.
Hi, Serene.
Hi, Zareen. We'll get you on the list.
So here we are.
Sunny gives me my hand back.
If you celebrate, it's Easter, so happy Easter.
Happy Easter to all who celebrate. Yes, my birthday celebrations are over now because Aries season is done.
Good. Thanks,
but it's
Serene.
really funny because as I've announced it on a couple of social media, a number of social medias, I found a couple people with my birthday and other fellow Aries who were cheering me on.
And there was no happy hour yesterday because we were off at a wellness festival by our friends at the Arts and Craft Metaphysical Store. It's over on the other side of the state. It was about a 3-hour drive for us, so 6 hours of driving. But we read there for about not quite 5 hours. I started to peter out after 4:20 or so. 4:20.
Yeah.
It just did. But we did pretty good.
Okay.
It kind of justified that big purchase of cards and oracles and hat.
Well, maybe. My birthday
Kara.
justified some of that.
We weren't sure if we were going to see you.
Kara! I thought maybe you'd be Easter egg hunting or doing a family gathering. Just kidding. Whatever. But we're glad you're here, too. Let me get you on the list.
So, happy Sunday to all.
So before we get started, though, since I have one of these decks in the mix, I'm just going to show what I came up with. Some interesting stuff. This is probably some sort of indie deck, and I have to actually go to the website to download the booklet for it. But it's another cosmic, kind of whimsical, comical deck in a way. It's called Tarot in Space. I'm getting into some cosmic-y stuff, and to add to that, I ended up, and so I'll be using that deck today because it's pretty cut and dry. I just made some notes about a few changes, like their suits and stuff like that. But the Oracle of the Universe is also something I got from Stacey DeMarco. Stacey DeMarco's a well-known creator of decks and probably some books as well. I don't know if I have many of her books in my collection, but she's a well-known creator. And finally, I haven't bought one of these in ages. This is a round tarot deck. It is the Circle of Life Tarot. It is a low scarabo deck, and it seems to have some seasonal elements to it, but I haven't read the little mini book that came in here with it. And yeah, excuse me. And yes, the book is in I don't know how many languages, but it's a tiny book. But the artwork is really gorgeous, and it's very seasonal for this time of year, too, a lot of it. So I think I'll be using that soon. I haven't incorporated that yet.
And this is not a very new tarot, but I hadn't seen it before, actually. So I picked it up. The store owner, one of them, Paul, our friend, said, "Oh, you didn't have this already?" I guess he knows us like Angel does. It's the Tarot of the Magical Forest. And I like the semi-whimsical, just different kind of art. I'm not sure what to call it. It's definitely whimsical, but there's another quality there. Maybe it's a little bit surrealist.
Mr. O also got a couple of oracle decks,
yes,
right?
I was going to try to reach for them. I left
well,
them
if you
over
don't
there.
have them, one is a love oracle.
I love oracle.
And the other one is it's one you can use on Goth Tarot, right? It's
called the
Deadly Apothecary.
The Deadly Apothecary Oracle.
Yeah.
And I wish I had that
Look forward
here. I don't,
to seeing that one. All right.
It looks pretty cool.
So
it
I'm
should
gonna get the
definitely
list posted.
give me a couple new factors to use on Goth Tarot. So the chat is lively out there.
All right.
Yeah, she thought maybe she did have this one. I mean, it's not my
It
musical.
looks somewhat familiar, but I'm not that attached to it. However, it's very similar to something Mr. O gave me when he got an indie deck, and it was it's got a weird name to it. I'm going to use the Lenormand today. It's called the Slime Fantasy Forest. And it says Tokefly Lenormand. So I don't know if it's a Chinese knockoff, what it is, but we got one.
Hi, Victorious.
Hi, Victorious. We'll get you. Oh, I just posted the list, but I'll post it again.
That actually came with another
And hi,
purchase
Jamie.
from Tavada.com. It's a really cool website, but it's definitely a little bit more on the upscale side. Tevada, Tevada.com. No, we don't get royalties for saying that. But they have, that's where I got the Midnight Boulevard, and they have a number of different products there. They're all Oracle related. I would definitely, say check it out.
Mr. M is here.
Just to see real pretty. Hi, Mr. Maurice. Happy Easter. Real pretty oracles and tarot cards. So instead of blabbing, we should probably get around.
I know, we're almost ready to close in the darn list already here.
Really?
So, yeah, because let me just make sure.
Let's do that. Let's just close it.
Yeah, we have to have 15 names.
That can be about what we do.
All right, Mr. M, you are a little bit down there because we got booked. But you can leave your question, and we'll always do the readings in order that we receive them if you can't stay.
All right, so let's get going then.
All right, I'm posting the list. I'm going to get my card for the collective out there, and it is, of course, from the Seasons of the Witch Beltane
So we
Oracle.
will really appreciate everybody's patience with us, of course.
Chasing any bunnies around this AM? Well, we have a lot of bunnies around here. We really do. They always
have
are
lots of
frolicking
bunnies.
out here. The cats love them.
We've been seeing possum around here, opossum.
And a groundhog.
Several
even.
of them, a groundhog.
Ducks.
And we've always occasionally seen some deer not very far by.
But not here, not on our
Right,
property.
not right here. There's a wooded area across the street that's part of a golf course, and we just see some deer over there.
Well, and
So
there's a lot
nice.
of other wooded areas. There's a kind of a brown, is it like a brown field or whatever? But it's owned by the electric company, and they've let it grow wild. And honestly, there's wild turkeys and deer in there.
Yeah.
We see them frequently.
All right, hurry.
All right, hurry. I'm working, Mr. O. I'm working. All right.
Well, we are definitely working. We've done a lot of filming the last couple of days for our monthly modality message, which was on our channel, so you can check that out.
Oftentimes we get some of our videos kind of back to back, and it makes it hard when we have a special event, like on Saturday we did. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There'll be something special coming out tonight. All right, and it's upright, right?
Yes, of course. What do
So
you got?
it's the Maypole, number
Yay!
24.
24.
And it says, I am fertile in what I seed, for there is reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. That's
I am
pretty.
fertile in what I seed. Wow, that's interesting. No, it is. For there's reason to dance and drink upon the riches I receive. That's cute.
It is cute.
And it's about, surprise, celebration, which a lot of people are celebrating today.
So it's a nice card for today.
Yeah. So, don't wait for happiness to find you. You can choose to be happy right now, at this moment. Sing, dance, spend time with loved ones, and celebrate just because you're alive and you can. Focus on enjoying life and doing what gives you warmth to your soul. The situation you have inquired about is still developing. No amount of stress or worry will fix your circumstances, but you may find yourself with a sudden spark of inspiration once you allow your doubts to fall away. Solutions can come in the most unexpected ways, and will often do so when you give your fears to the universe so you can go out and play. The universe takes pride in your willingness to trust in its power, to move mountains on your behalf. You will be rewarded for the trust, and all will be well. Do not think you must obsess over your circumstances to overcome them, nor must you spend every waking thought on your intentions to manifest them. Let the universe know what you need, then go and allow yourself to embrace the joys of living. You know, we are always pushing ourselves for our success, or to get ahead, or to just even stay above water. Sometimes we need to pull ourselves, not just sometimes, really more often than we do, we really need to pull ourselves out of that mindset and enjoy life a little bit. Enjoy what we have. Enjoy where we are, and quit striving. Striving is great, but, sometimes we need that time to enjoy what life has provided for us. It's kind of like, how could we ignore it? How can we ignore the beautiful growth going outside? How can we ignore the warmer weather and beautiful days that are happening? And also, how can we ignore our family and friends and loved ones that we should gather and celebrate with?
And, down through humankind, certain kinds of phases, either from the zodiac or whatnot, gave us pause to celebrate the return of the sun, or in this case, sort of the full advancement of spring.
Yeah.
And so that's what the maypole can mean, looking ahead.
That's what we have. I think it's a wonderful card for today. Good luck with that, everyone. All right, let's move on. And I posted the list. Jackie is up.
I like the stories about wild critters, especially victorious moons. Very cool.
Oh, wild turkeys. Yep. Well, we see them quite a bit around here. Not in our complex, so that's something we have not had here. Of course, we had some geese roaming through, and we definitely get some ducks from time to time. So, and we've seen hawks. So, because we have a lot of little bunnies and squirrels around here that the hawks would love to get their hands on.
Okay. So Jackie asks, will I feel well enough on the 25th for the planned trip? And Jackie, you're going to be my first use of my new tarot, the Tarot of the Magical Forest.
Okay, and so I'll use this Lenormand with it. It's going to be interesting seeing these two together. I think you'll see why I think they're done by the same person, but we can't really... This is another thing where I have to go...
The color palette is even very similar.
Yes, and this is another thing where I have to go to a website to get a booklet. But, it's a traditional Lenormand, and I know how to read
Well,
Lenormand.
that was how it was with the other item that I purchased there, too.
Right.
They wanted me to scan the QR code, and it just didn't work out for me.
Well, I can do it. I have a scanner. I can get it.
All right. So, and Jackie, if the answer is really vague, we will, of course, do a yes or no. The basic question, once again, will I feel well enough on the 25th for the planned trip? So here we go. Our first card is the upright Queen of Cups, Queen of Chalices in this deck. And then we have the upright King of Wands.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like a semi-whimsical, slightly surreal kind of tone. All right, and then, wow, it's really funny. I shuffled these pretty well before I used them, even now. The upright Queen of Swords, so it's all
it's different
court cards.
suits. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all different suits, but it's all court cards. What do you have?
All right, well, this is intriguing.
Lay
We
down,
do
you.
have... Wait, that's not what I picked first, and I know it wasn't. We do have the mice.
That's a cute little mouse representation.
And we have the child. So really, this looks pretty good, Jackie, overall, I would say.
Yeah,
It
actually
got
it does.
all upright court cards, which I think is good. So are you taking this trip with other people? Are you going to meet other people on this trip? That might be why we're seeing these court cards here. But failing that, and just looking at the kind of court cards you have, the Queen of Cups first, meaning that you emotionally, I feel, are prepared and ready for this trip. I think you need this trip maybe to feel better. In a way, it might actually help you feel better. And the King of Cups, or King of Wands, I'm sorry, is saying to, you'll be in your power in this trip, You'll be able to call on your strength. Your strength will be there for you. I think this is a positive sign that, you are strong enough health-wise to take this trip. I'll stop there.
Oh, that's pretty good. And, it sort of feels like there's it's friends or somebody, so it's an investment in kind of an emotional event or emotional enrichment. I got to scroll.
She's going on a shop trip, a day trip. So no people involved, that she's
I
going
see.
with.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, I think it's going to be fun.
I think there's an emotional wellness quotient about this, that maybe it's
Right.
really good for you to do this because it just sort of pulls you out of yourself. The King of Wands says that, this does involve a certain part of bravery on yourself perhaps too, or maybe reasons to look at this as enterprising, because, you need to work this, and sort of still show you're viable. And the Queen of Swords maybe just reinforces the idea that you're making the right decision.
The Queen of Swords? Yes. Well, the Queen of Swords says that, trust in yourself, and you kind of realize the truth of the matter here. I think you're going to understand your strengths and your limitations, what you can and cannot do. So I think
that's a good point.
I think here, everything is going to be harmonized. When I think of that King of Wands too, I'm thinking that, this will really boost your confidence in yourself. To be able to do this trip. And that's why I'm thinking here when I saw the Queen of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Swords, that it all seemed to mesh into this idea that you need this trip emotionally. Maybe it's to prove something to yourself that you are up for, that you can handle these sort of things. Sometimes we have to take baby steps, in order to test the waters with where we are with our health. And, if you have that inner strength and inner courage, you will gain more confidence from doing this. And the Queen of Swords is saying, I think you made the right choice. I think you'll be able to get through this okay. Now, looking at the Lenormand, Mr. O, that's the bear and it's the mice
and the child.
The mice and the child. So this is what I will say, is there may be some small, minor things that pop up, little irritations.
Anxieties.
Like, for example, if you're like me, you might get little kinks or pains in your back, but I don't think it's insurmountable. They're temporary. So, it might just trigger a few little minor things, but it's nothing that's going to hold you back or hold you down.
I actually think these are kind of like anxieties that are maybe a little bit more mental. And so this is probably saying, like, when you feel like maybe if it's an OCD thing, like you're worried about whether you're really prepared, did you bring a ticket if you need it or anything like that. This is saying just calm down and sort of move through it with, a child's step, a slower step. That mostly what may give you any pause to doubt is just, a little bit of anxiety. Everything else really looks like you have mastery because you have all those court cards.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looks great. So, and you don't just have any court cards, you have all royalty, right? That's all royalty there.
Yes.
I mean,
kings and
the
queens.
top
Right.
royalty.
I was like, well, pages and knights are sort of royalty, but not exactly. I
mean the top, king and queen, the rulers.
I get it. Yes. So it's real pretty, and I like these two decks complement each other.
Yeah, can you see that? I'm nearly positive it's the same art.
Could be.
Operation. If it's a person or if it's AI, whatever the case may be, I think it's the same thing. So yeah. All right, that's what we have for you, Jackie.
Right,
have fun.
Jackie.
Hope you enjoy it.
We can have a hat war. You should buy a stylish hat, and then you'll figure out a way to send us a picture.
Oh, it will not be as stylish as Mr. O's, I can tell you that.
Well, that must mean that mine is actually a little garish.
Okay, it might be, but it's nice. No, it is nice. Whoopsie, I didn't drop anything,
Thank you. Thank you, Jackie, and you're welcome, of course.
You are welcome. Marita is up, and I'm sure they probably left a question. Let's take a look.
Possibly. Hi, Marita. Okay, I don't see the question. No. I hope we'll give them a moment.
Yeah, we'll give Marita a moment.
We are busy, so we can't give you forever.
Yeah, they're really cool. But I mean, I like it. It's whimsical. It's nice. Here's the back of the cards for this one.
Yes.
While we're waiting for Marita's question. Hopefully Marita's not gone because she was like right second on the list.
Yeah, I hate to have to shuffle somebody off because with this many people, the likelihood that we're going to close the list is more imminent. It just is what we have to do. We have other work to do after the show.
Okay,
all right.
I'm just
we
going
are
to
back on Thursday from 7 to 9.
Check again and make sure I didn't miss anything.
No, I've already looked again too.
Oh, did you? Okay.
And if we add you, Garima, you're the last one, I think, right?
Well, we usually go to 18, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I was supposed to do my birthday reading today, but Mr. O just put a kibosh on it.
Yeah, Marina logged in, but they did not leave a question so far. I don't see your question. You say you have posted, but I don't see it. There it is. Okay, I apologize. You did indeed post it.
Oh, thank
what
you,
is
Marita.
coming for
We're
me
sorry.
for the rest of April? I do apologize. Oh. Thank you, thank you. Everybody's piling in at the last minute.
What happened here?
Why aren't you paying attention?
Well, because I was in the middle of
so
putting
we have
Garima
Marita's
on
question,
the list.
and Garima and Andrea have both popped in.
Okay, so that's 17. We can only take one more who comes in.
And Garima asks about a special reading. Do you see it there in the chat?
Okay, just a minute. I'm writing a list,
Okay. Garima, we would have to do your birthday reading
we can't
later. We can't do it today.
We always do it at the beginning of the show. We can't do it today. So you need to always tell us in advance, okay? So maybe this is in advance, but we can't do it today. We could do it Thursday, all right? We could do it Thursday night, and if you can't make it, we can, you'll always know it's at the start of our show.
And hi, Raymond. We may be closing the list with you. So
Raymond's
you'll be right
here.
at the end.
Raymond will be the last one. Hi, Raymond. So if you can't stay, Raymond, post your question and we will do it for you.
Right, because our list is totally full, so we can't waste any time waiting for somebody who hasn't posted a question. We're just, unfortunately, we got to keep moving.
All right, so let me do that right now.
Is it my cards or yours?
Fiance, today or soon. Okay, we will do that for you. Thank you. I'm posting the list right now. We aren't on Airy, though. We are, we're on Marita. So Marita's up now, and then it will be Airy. I just updated the list, so
I see
it will
that.
be. But let's put the list as closed out right now, okay? Okay. You all came early. That was very smart of you. Who's having a birthday? Andrea, too?
No. Well,
no.
maybe, but Garima.
I understand.
Oh, wait, you already
that.
knew that one. Yep. You'll have to.
Yours was yesterday.
You keep
Well-
cutting me off.
What?
Nothing.
Yours was yesterday, so, and isn't it, it's my deck? Okay. Yours was yesterday, Andrea. If you want, we'll do a reading for you next Sunday. We're going to be doing Garima's on Thursday. We will mark these on our calendar. And happy birthday to you.
Right, happy birthday to all the Aries babies.
And you know, I know Kara knows she's going to have a birthday reading coming up at the beginning of May.
And all the Taurus babies, too.
We
of
seem to
course.
be overly stocked with birthday readings at this time of year. Maybe I'll do my own as a video and I'll put it out there. Just for fun.
Right, we have to get the birthdays scheduled in advance.
Yeah.
Just because we have to do them at the beginning of the
And they
show.
take longer. All right. So I'm on Marita, and she wants to know what's going on till the end of April, or for, up to the end of April.
Right.
So let's take a look. I'm going to use my new deck next time, I think. All right. All right. The moon is upright. The Ace of Wands is reversed. Oh, how interesting. The Ace of Cups is upright. Interesting. What do you have, Mr. O?
The Star
Okay.
and the Anchor.
The Star and the Anchor. Okay. Well, okay. So I think this is a time where your intuition is going to be really strong, Marita. You're going to be able to kind of feel things or sense things before they happen. Which is a good thing. You will definitely be in tune with others in some way, and I think here that your dreams might be very deep during this time period as well. I think I'm going to take this a card at a time.
I have to agree with that. It could also be saying, too, that, in terms of a general reading, that you may feel there are some questions you need to have answered or some mysteries or things you're uncertain about. It could be just something that you need information on, just research. But it could also indicate maybe that, there's something a little bit secretive going on around you. Maybe it's just a process of things being decided that you don't understand. And so, like in terms of if you're waiting for questions about job interviews or things, that might seem like information that is just nebulous to you at some point. Thank you, Sunny. Please don't knock over the camera.
Well, sunny is sunny. Okay, so the
Reversed Ace of Wands.
I'm aware. The Ace of Wands reversed is about, there's two things that could be happening here, Marita. It's possible that you could get some bad news about maybe a job opportunity or something that just doesn't happen for you or manifest, or something else new that you were hoping to work on or do, and this could be anything. This could be, involving relationships or, business or work or study. It just seems like there's delays. There's some disappointments coming. So April is, it looks like up to the end of April, it's not an opportune time to get something new off the ground.
Right. The rest of April doesn't look very fruitful for things if you're waiting for any developments that may be related to enterprise or economics, jobs, which I know you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like things are moving quickly. And I don't know if that's a seasonal thing too, because maybe this is around spring break or something. So maybe, too many people are taking vacations or are engaged and not able to either work with you or give you the information you need. And remember, I sort of referred to the idea that maybe you were hoping to find out things. Well, it still looks like maybe things are more functional why they're delayed or questionable.
Regardless of the frustrations, I think, with the Ace of Cups here, you're going to feel okay overall during this time, even though some of that is unsettling to you. You're surrounded by, you'll be surrounded by people who are supportive and loving. And I think there could be the beginning of something, in this month, in this time frame that will bring you some happiness and some joy. Whether it's getting together with old friends or meeting new friends, having something new happen in your life, it will bring you some happiness, and that will, somewhat compensate for some of the disappointments you may be experiencing.
That's said pretty well. It's what I feel too. The Ace of Cups could be the beginning of some new kind of friendship or situation. Even if it's like with people you already know, maybe you just decide to do something together that's fun. Cups are really emotionally fun, so maybe people are planning on a get-together of some sort, or maybe it's new friends too. So that's all good too, and believe it or not, this should all cram in the next 10 days or so.
I think so. I mean, this is
could very well do that.
Potential doable stuff.
So then we have the Lenormand.
Do you want to go ahead?
I'll let you start.
I've got it. Okay. Well, remain anchored in being optimistic, hopeful, and I think you will, because like I said, even though there's some things that aren't going well for you, you're going to feel good about some other things in your life in the next couple weeks or week. So just remain optimistic, remain enthusiastic, and remain hopeful for the future. Remain anchored in that.
That's what it looks like, really, that, you're able to really balance the ideas that right now life is sort of obscure or vague. You don't have answers, or you don't see where you can really focus adequately, but still there's something that maybe is able to bring a sense of comfort or support, and you need to remain anchored to that, and or any vision about your future. So of course, try to hang with good people who maybe are supportive of you and who can, help you mentally and emotionally supportive, if not otherwise.
Oh gosh, Marita's got a birthday too. This is craziness. We have lots of, we may have to break our, if you have a Saturday off coming up, we may have to do one of our birthday readings on a Saturday. But that's not this week. I think we're booked for this week with
birthday readings.
Yeah, with birthday readings with Garima and who is it? Andrea. And so I think here that we will then in the next week start figuring out how to get through all these. I remember this from before, that this time of year is just a lot of us born. So I could say, so what I might do, and gee, dare I advertise this, but if I do a video of my own birthday reading, I can be used to promote the fact to others out there on social media that we do this for our subscribers, so to encourage more subscriptions. All right. But anyway, I digress. That's what we have for you. You know what? I want to say, too, what Mr. O said there, Marita, about, that Ace of Cups. I almost feel that Ace of Cups, whatever's bringing you joy in the next week or two, is really going to help you remain anchored and optimistic. It may play a role in that, that you will feel like maybe the future is going to look brighter. All right, so I wish you luck with that. And we are on Aries.
Yes.
I posted that earlier, so it should be out there. But I can post it again.
The question, or... Because I can find the question. There it is.
Good luck, Marita.
Why Kaj doesn't give me a chance to get to know them. Like, it was only 4 days, and he told me that he didn't want a relationship yesterday. I met him on the 15th.
Oh.
Okay, well, sorry about
That's
that.
the Capricorn, right?
Yes, right.
And we thought that looked so positive. So what was the question about it, though?
Why he didn't give you
why?
Ari a chance. Why didn't he?
Maybe because they're a Capricorn. And we talked about the possible clash of air,
Well, it's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
Let's see what our cards say.
What? This guy just loves to come here after he has thrown water all over himself from his water dish and then get me soaking wet. Thanks, Sonny. Thank you. There it goes. You get all that water on yourself.
First card is the reversed Queen of Swords. And then it's the reversed Nine of Pentacles. And followed by the reversed Eight of Swords. So those are interesting. I'm going to wait till you pull those.
Yeah, I want these out there. Some of those are interesting to me.
How's the Sunny Boy doing, eh? Uh-huh. All right, so we have the Moon. And the Book. Well, why did Kaj not give you a chance? Queen of Swords reversed.
Couple things there.
Yeah, there's a couple things there that could be, and that they could actually couple too, in a way.
In a way.
You seem to know.
No, well.
Okay.
Number one, he just might have felt that you weren't the right choice for a relationship. It could be that maybe is he already involved in a relationship and just doesn't want to upset that. But I feel here he just felt that maybe you weren't the right choice, or he just doesn't want to go there right now. Maybe right now he's a little closed off, I was thinking too, to relationships in his life if he is single. It's possible here that just right now he's in sort of a solitary frame of mind. The other thing is that, he might be thinking, it might be something about you. That was the other place I wanted to go with this, that he may just feel that you might be too demanding or critical.
Is that the 9?
No, I think it's this one. That's telling me something else, and I will get to that.
Oh, okay. I do get the feeling that he made a deliberate choice to probably not pursue knowing you. I don't know what it's based on exactly. I almost feel like maybe there is another person hovering around in the background, not necessarily like there was another relationship, but maybe somebody who is influential to them. Maybe it's a bro of some sort. It feels like maybe it is about appearances in a way that, I know, it feels like it is about appearances in a way, or the sense of that.
Are you on the 9?
Well, I'm sort of merging it back towards the Queen in a way too.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
That it to me it just feels like maybe he thinks there's more work involved in a relationship than he wants right now, and whether that's about you personally, like you're more work than he wants to work on. In other words, he wants something easier, or I'll let you go.
I don't know. I think he wants something more. Maybe he just didn't feel you would satisfy what he's looking for. And that's that 9 of, Pentacles reversed. And that being said, Ari, some people are never satisfied. Some people are never happy. They're always seeking something else, something better. And so, this is no reflection on you, but, it's depending on their own tastes and desires of what they are looking for. How do you're right, it was pretty soon the way he cut this off. How do you know, what he was looking for?
The level of maturity that you're looking for there may come from an older person, an older man who may not be as interesting to you or attractive to you.
And finally, with that 8 of Swords, the 8 of Swords reversed, he didn't want to tie himself necessarily to a situation that he might feel restricts him in some way. And like I said, this is just, and like I said, I don't know why he's made these judgments. Maybe it's just about, and that's why I'm saying, maybe it's just about relationships in general at this time.
Well, I'm related to somebody, I don't want to say who, but they're a divorcee, and they never wanted to be in a serious relationship again. So they're already older a little bit, and they were dating somebody around their age group, but whenever I saw it happen 2 to 3 times, whenever it got a little too serious on the other person's part, like why don't we, consider a marriage of some sort, that's when this relative of mine would break up with them and back away from them, because they just didn't want to be tied to a relationship. And so there are men like that of any age, perhaps.
Well,
I think this relative had children they were supporting from their first marriage too. So
this leaves me with the Lenormand, and I'm unclear about this here. The
Book and the Moon.
I almost feel a little bit odd about this combination, considering what happened to you. And I'm kind of thinking, how the book is about knowledge and about, it opens doors for you. Well, just considering the circumstances and considering the cards we just read to you, I'm almost feeling this is saying, now that this is a closed book, you're just going to have to look for your success somewhere else. I wouldn't even entertain trying to figure out what went wrong here.
That's a good point.
It's just time to let this one go, because clearly either there's a maturity issue or just the fact that they wouldn't even give you a chance to get to know you better, or to even let you know what might have been the deciding factor here, why they didn't want to do that. Just as saying to me, close this book and move on and find your success somewhere else.
Right. I don't think the answers are necessarily in comparing yourself to others in similar situations. People of your age is one of the examples you used. The book metaphor, turn the page.
Yes.
The moon metaphor, it's the cycles of the moon. It's bound to change, within several days at least. And so, that was a fortnight ago or 4 days ago, as you said. So I agree with Banshee. I feel like it's probably pointless to try to figure it out. It's just better to keep looking for what you really feel is going to work for you. But I realize that it may be an uphill battle.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that.
All right.
Let's go. All right. My deck, I'm going to use my spanking brand new deck. All right. Oh, thanks for sneezing on it. Anyway.
Dr. Victor's up, and their question is, what luck is coming my way in the next 6 months?
Okay.
And of course, we hope you get the best of luck, Dr. Victor, but tarot is a snapshot in time, so even if we tell you that it's going to be magnificent in 6 months, you still may want to check in with us depending on how things are going.
Well, and here's the other thing. I'm going to look at some of the, because of the way you asked the question, I'm going to look at some of the negative cards you received depending on the circumstances. I mean, I may have to tell you it's going to be a bad luck 6 months, but I might be able to tell you if there's bad cards that your luck may be there in trying to navigate around some of that. So let's take a look at what we've got. With the spacey new deck. Which I thought I had mixed them up really good before the show. Let's see.
When I was younger, my experience was often different, Ari, that usually it was the women that would break up with me rather than me with them.
All right,
and
we gotta
usually
keep
I
it
felt that I was left out of it.
going here. So, I remember saying this before, and I had them in order before, so I'm going to do this right. The Knight Captain of Rockets, which the Knight Captain of Rockets are wands, and it is actually the Queen of Wands.
Because there's the black cat.
Because it's night, right, and there's the black cat. I'm really glad that I got that card first because I was confused about night and day, and I thought, I'm pretty sure the Queen was the night card. And of course, it was because I ended up seeing the cat on, that. So it's very interesting. I want you to show the back of the card this time, too. So that's the Queen of Wands, upright. Oh, we also have the Day Captain. See, I thought I mixed these up, but here's the King of Wands, upright.
Oh, I thought I was showing the back.
Yeah, show the back anyway, yeah.
Shiny.
And Mr. O, like your first reading.
Is this a card too?
Yeah.
All right.
And like your reading, I have all court cards. But this one is the Lieutenant of Planets. And the Lieutenant of Planets is, what do you think, Mr. O? Pentacles.
Well, yeah, I thought you were asking me what court designation. I was going to say page.
No, ensigns are pages. Lieutenants
so this is a
are
knight.
knights. Yes. It's the Knight of Pentacles.
Reversed.
And it's reversed.
Okay.
All right. Well, so there's some interesting stuff here. Okay, so this is about good luck in 6 months and what kind of good
And
luck
I have
you might
the
have.
same two cards again.
Well, how'd you do that?
I don't know. I thought I shuffled well.
It's interesting, but go ahead, put them out.
The star has shown up again. And the anchor. Remember, I do pull one from the top and the bottom. So.
Yeah, I know. So the Queen of Wands here indicates that you will have really good luck in being seen by the right people, being seen in a good light by the right people. So, I mean, if you're hunting for jobs or promotion or things, people are going to look at you. They're going to be attracted to what you're doing and what you're showing them. Your talents, your skills, or, your charisma. You have this magnetism about you that will rub people the right way so that you can get what you desire.
I really like that. I think that's a good way to call that. This is seen as, you're charming, or you're able to work with other people and other energies in a good way, and maybe be, to some degree, like it says, a captain, a team leader in a way. And of course, there's a difference in maybe how you do things than other people of similar, situation there.
And if you, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You use more of your personality, or that you could be using that, or that these things come to you as a way of bringing you luck by enhancing, your personable effects when you're dealing with people.
Hi, Noha. Happy Easter to you. Unfortunately, we got 18 people literally in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the show. So we're not going to be able to read for you today. If you come back Thursday and get here early, we'll be able to get a reading in.
Yes, we did have to close our list earlier. We're sorry.
But thank you for the greetings. Happy Easter. Happy seasonal blessings. Back to Dr. V. With the king, combining the queen and the king here is a very powerful combination. And so it also say luck comes to you through showing courage and strength in the face of any challenges you experience, or in the face of showing your good side to others. I mean, you have to be determined, you have to be courageous, and you have to show strength. These two together are really, really positive, and I think that combination is going to bring you some real good luck in the business world in particular.
I wonder if it could mean that, either you're being mentored or you're being given more responsibility that advances you in certain ways. I don't know if I would call it a promotion exactly, but it just sort of feels like there's a sense of you being able to innovate more, or that you're in a good position to innovate and or take things further along. It's a good card for you, and I feel like it's either, like I said, a mentor that's bringing you this experience, or having the experience yourself through your own, work experience.
Okay, Russ, thanks for that. And finally, with the last card, the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles indicates, when it's reversed, indicates to me that, it may seem in the 6-month time. I could look at this two ways. I'm going to look at this two ways. First off, you might have a lot of good luck in navigating real slowdown periods, real sluggish periods. And you will navigate that well, I feel, if you utilize some of the skills you have here. Persevere, especially as King of Wands. Persevere through times that seem slow or stagnating or sluggish. Don't allow yourself to fall into a funk and be unmotivated. Maintain a high level of motivation and determination to get through the slower periods and times. And good luck might also come to you in order to be able to navigate these times. I mean, I feel that. I feel here that there may be some slowdowns, there may be some periods where it seems like nothing happens, but, you'll find a way, almost like serendipitously, to make something good come out of that.
So a reversed Knight of Pentacles here in this position could indicate that maybe it would take literally the full 6 months for this luck to manifest, or even maybe beyond that. It just feels like maybe there's a bit of time involved here, moving through that process, or finding these mentors, or working with these situations that give you more mastery or better luck, as you would say. So that's what I feel the Knight of Pentacles is saying. It's not going to be a snap. It's going to take literally that whole amount of time for that to manifest. And that, of course, then takes me to the Anchor and the Star. And this could just be saying, don't lose perspective of that destiny, or that hope you're hoping to gain here. That hold on to that, because that's really what's going to carry you, is realizing that these experiences are giving you mastery, or giving you that sense of control over what your future could hold.
Right. Finally, with the Lenormand, it's a similar message here to me. I feel here that good luck comes when you anchor yourself in positivity. And when you work towards, you are anchored, you're all in on working on what you want your destiny to be in these months ahead. Fate is on the side of those who, fortune favors the bold, right? You want good luck. You have to make bold actions and be willing to be brave and, show your best to others to make it happen. So, good luck with that.
All right, Dr. Victor.
And we are on Russ. Russ has an interesting question.
I saw.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And he said a yes, no, right? So we will do that.
All right, so let's read that question. Russ has lost nearly 80 pounds over the last couple of years. Hoo-hoo, congratulations. Without diet or exercise, is this an ascension symptom as spiritually my body is shifting from carbon-based to crystalline base? Well, that's pretty heavy. I would go to the National Institute of Health and have them scan that. But so asking if that's a yes or no, let's see.
Do you want to do the regular yes, no?
Yeah, let's do it that way. And I'm going to use my Dark Angel Tarot.
All right. I like to do the regular one when we just get it as a reading, and the other one when we're doing it as an add-on, Right?
I'm sorry. I was thinking about the question here.
Okay. I said I like to do this yes, no, traditional yes, no, when it's not an add-on, when it's just a reading.
Yeah, that seems reasonable to me.
Okay. Yeah, I thought we had discussed
and I assume,
that.
Russ, that you're not taking, one of the Ozempics or things like that. No, I'm just asking, because you mentioned, no diet or exercise, just, weight coming off. And so from a reality-based thing, that would be one of the other methods. But, maybe there is something, happening that's different. Let's see what it says. Yes or no? Is it more of a shifting thing?
So it's about an ascension thing, yes.
All right. So I'm doing the count.
An assumption symptom. Okay.
No.
Oh. I can't believe it. I forgot there are extra cards in this Lenormand. Oh well, this will be interesting. So I'm going to go totally with my gut on that one card because I didn't have a booklet to check them out.
Hi, Jamie's.
Thanks, Jamie's. That one on the top is hard to read, I know.
It is a one, though, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's very dark. That's my only real problem with this. Everything else is fairly clear. There's a one also, though, right?
Yeah, it's leaning towards yes.
So it is leaning towards yes, that you have become some science fiction being of some sort. Crystalline life form.
Woohoo! Well, wait a minute. What's the other card?
I'm looking.
Okay. So you got two aces. It's now. It's not a definite yes, Russ.
Oh my God! I guess I didn't realize it, but it was an ace as well.
So it's a definite yes.
We're gonna have to ban you because you're too weird for us. Yes, you are absolutely some sort of crystalline life form.
Grab that.
You grab that.
Jesus, you take forever.
Mark it. Mark it?
I know. There are extra cards in this deck. Why didn't you tell me when you gave it to me?
I knew that there were extra cards in the deck. I didn't know how many and what they really were. Mark it. Okay.
Come on.
House.
Jeez.
Well, that one's not an extra card. We know that one.
Yeah.
So three aces is a positive yes. So you are shifting into some other form.
Well, I think here with the Lenormand, we have a situation We have a situation here where you're secure. Well, it seems like you're in a better place. When we look at the house, now, usually I don't see a lot of health aspects with the house card itself, but let's face it, the house is our body, is our spirit's house, right? And so I think here that maybe the market, looking at the market and seeing all the food type things here, it makes me feel that your food source now, you're getting your nourishment from, spiritual sources.
I thought that maybe you were going to sell off crystalline parts of your body for money.
So I feel here, this is a matter of nurturing, your body, mind, and spirit. And right now, it seems like they're saying you're ascending. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm going to throw the idea out here that maybe things are shifting focus with you now, that you're focusing more on spiritual matters, that your food source, you're nourishing your spirit now more than other aspects of yourself.
I like that. I mean, we don't really know for sure what that card means because it's an extra card and we don't have the instructions for this Lenormand. So,
Turn off the news. I'll never turn off the news. But I can understand why some people want to.
We're all the news. I mean, we're all media. We're all
media news. I'm giving you news right now.
That's right.
But, I get what you're saying, and
sure.
I understand that. However, I do have to say here that it does seem like it's possible. It definitely does.
You're
and
changing,
I feel like,
or you have changed.
Yeah, you are changing, and you are growing, and, I think you're giving your body the nutrients, your house, the nutrients it needs right now.
That's probably a good way to look at that.
So good luck with that. I'm going to have
They look like gumdrops to me.
Well,
They do.
They do, actually. I admit. They could be vitamins. They could be gummies. But anyway, look, there's carrots there. I see carrots and healthy stuff.
All right. So that's what we have for you, Russ. Thank you for a very interesting
question.
Thanks
for that. That was fun.
Quite. And so now we will be on Lena, who needs a 3-month forecast. Excuse me. General for next 3 months.
Okay. I'll get my deck in a minute.
I need something to drink or a cough drop.
I have a cough drop.
I'll take it.
Why is there only one card here? Did I grab the other one? I did. Okay.
Woohoo!
Okay, let's see what we've got here. 3 months. Let's use this one for Lena. We have challenged ourselves to use the Tarot of Oppositions for our cards for the collective on social media. It's a shared deck.
It's a very challenging deck.
It definitely is.
But we have several.
Well, when people interpret tarot one way only in upright positions, they do look at the totality of the card. But this card gives you different kinds of images on top and bottom, calls it negative and positive, and sometimes it seems like it's in opposition even to the way we would interpret an upright and reversed card. And so it's very challenging, but it allows us to integrate both aspects of the card into our interpretations, and it's fun. It's interesting.
It is almost like learning another system of tarot in a way, or interpretation, because what we find is with many of these cards, what looks to be the upright meaning or the reverse meaning is actually kind of different from what traditionally those interpretations might be.
Well, if I'm watching something other than news, my friends, it's usually game shows, something fluffy. Maybe some of the paranormal
Baking
shows
and
on
shows.
Travel Channel, and cooking
Expedition
shows. I
Bigfoot.
absolutely love cooking challenges and cooking shows.
How to cook Bigfoot with avocado.
Well, you have a Godzilla cookbook in your library coming.
I'm going to make you eat that.
So, hey.
Yes, we have a Godzilla cookbook. It just came out this last fall. I think it's actually in connection with Toho or whoever produces Godzilla movies. And they had me at Godzilla guacamole.
I should also add comedy. I love comedy. But sometimes I like soap opera-y kind of things. I've been watching the Grosse Pointe Garden Society on NBC because Grosse Pointe, we lived not that far off from the suburb of Grosse Pointe when we were growing up. And so, yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun watching that. Anyway, all right. All right, so Lena, let's see. So general, right? The sun,
for
3 months. Reverse, that's a beautiful card. I like that one.
Yes, the sun reversed.
But then we have the Five of Wands reversed. But I like this, actually. Ooh, and I like this too. And we have the Ace of Wands upright.
Yes, it should be. You'll have to rewind. We did read you. Thank you.
Yep.
Ace of Fire. All right, so in the Lenormand, it's the mice and the moon.
Interesting. Well,
the moon and the sun.
Yeah, that is, like I said, very interesting. So, okay, so with the sun reversed as the first card, I think in these next 3 months there is some modest success you will achieve in some area of your life. Things will go well and make you moderately happy. You know, we can't always get what we want, but any success is good success. And so I think in some area of your life, there will be things that are turning positive, going your way.
It has a slight feel of maybe something you didn't expect, like maybe it was something that you have investment in some way, you know, but that you didn't expect it, or that you maybe had forgotten about it. So maybe it was just something that turns up like that in the next few months. And I do feel that it could also maybe be connected to the idea of, you know, moving away from an over-competitive situation, that maybe you're finding people who are overly competitive for the same reasons you are. So I'm thinking it's work maybe, but it could be other things that maybe you want to sort of pull back a little bit.
Okay, you read the second card?
I did. I got it through that.
I
read both.
I think this modest success comes to you because you're leaving something behind during this period, something behind that maybe was more destructive than productive, something that just wasn't working well for you, and maybe it was causing some stress in your life. So you're letting that go now, and you're looking for new opportunities for growth to happen. And I think once you open yourself up, you let something go that is stagnating, taking up space in your life, you know, when you open yourself up, new opportunities surface, and some success may come along with that.
So it looks like that's what's going on, is that maybe you are, you know, getting out of certain overcrowded situations of some sort, so you can better focus on your own agenda, you know, whether it's trying to figure out if you're changing yourself or business, or if you're moving into a new job or career. That takes us to the Lenormand.
So the Lenormand with the moon and the mice, this is telling me that success will come once you eliminate the little stressors in your life here that might be impeding your progress, okay? Yeah. The little things. And actually, you know, when I look at the mice, I'm wondering now how big this problem really is, that you should just let it go. Or, why you would be holding on to it. It's minor. It doesn't make much a positive difference in your life, so let it go and make room for something new to take its place.
And there's an intuitive part of me that says that you asked about 3 months, but I feel like the moon's presence here means that it might take an additional month, that it could be 4 months. So, but I feel the same way.
Good luck with that.
Good luck, Lena.
Preeti is up.
And Preeti's up, right.
Did I have a thing for this? I don't think I did. No. So it'll be your deck.
Okay.
Let's get, that's your cards there. So
Yeah,
here, you gave me one in between.
No, you took them out of my hands.
Well, I'm trying to keep things moving.
You did. You took them out of my hands.
I'm trying to keep it moving. All right.
I'm looking for Preeti's question. General reading. There it is.
All right.
Alrighty. Good show. And we will use, let's see, the spheres of heaven. So whether you celebrate Easter or not, we hope you're having a good Sunday or having a pleasant afternoon or dinner. You're welcome, Lena. You're very welcome.
You're welcome, Lena.
All right, Preeti wants general. Let's see what we got. So we have the Four of Pentacles upright. We have the Five of Pentacles upright.
Oh, okay.
And then we have the World, right? They call it the Gate.
Yeah. Oh, no. 20 is Judgment. 21
Whoops,
is the World.
sorry. I'm sorry. Judgment.
It's kind of interesting, though. Huh. Okay. I didn't do the Lenormand. Let me do that quickly. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking here about something anyway.
So, general reading. Four of Pentacles says there are things you are holding on to, but maybe you are also trying to move. Well, looking at that as Judgment really adds another spin here.
Is Five of Pentacles upright again?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you. And the 4 is 2. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Four of Pentacles upright indicates to me that I want to combine it with the Five of Pentacles, actually. And I do want to say, Preeti, that you may want to hold on to what is valuable to you. Times might get a little bit, where you may have to rein in your spending, be careful with what you're purchasing, and you might feel like you're lacking some things. So maybe it's just a time to do an assessment, because, there's this feeling and this sense of lack in your life, but maybe you should look at what you value about your life right now. What is valuable to you? What have you accomplished or done, or what do you have in your life materially or, otherwise, that brings value to your life? Because you're feeling the sense of lack right now, that something's missing. And I just think that you might be not seeing the whole picture here.
Well, I sort of felt there was this idea that this is a spiritual or semi-spiritual conversation or dialogue you're having with yourself.
Yeah,
and so the idea of Judgment, the Gate, cements that. And so that's what we see as a general reading, is that maybe this next week or two sees you really having the time or the need to look at that side. And so maybe Judgment could represent something more, that maybe there's a serious, question in your life that gives you pause to think about how those ramifications are going to change the course of your life. And it's like Banshee said, maybe you have to question what it is you value, because maybe that's going to change in a big way that maybe you might not realize that value going forward, or that you might need to see it change somehow.
Okay, Andrea, thanks for doing that. Since you're second from the last, it'll be easy for you to scroll back and find, your reading if you have to take off. So, with the gate, with judgment here, see this little progression here is to evaluate what's valuable to you, what you've done in your life. You're sensing this lack in your life right now. If you feel really strongly that something is missing, then it is time to heed judgment's call and make some changes. It's time to change things up in your life and try to either bring out new, talents or ideas or thoughts that maybe have been sitting inside of you that now maybe need to come to life to change this outlook. You need something new in your life. You need a fresher outlook. You need to maybe do things differently. You maybe need to go after pursue something that's new and exciting and different. This is a time to consider ways that you can recreate yourself or this aspect of your life that you feel may be lacking something.
These cards may be the spiritual, oh God, how did I want to say that? Oh God, I'm losing it. The status quo that you feel right now, for better or worse, the idea of what you are maintaining in your life now maybe has an opportunity to really have an epiphany over it, that you could really change things, or that something is going to change for you dramatically.
Oh, that's an interesting question too, Andrea. Thank you for that. Can't wait to tackle that one.
Yeah, I saw that. I brought my Ghost Tarot.
Ooh, nice. We'll let you do that one then. All right.
There's our bear. And the crossroads. So all of this looks like you have questions about what to do with your personal strength. Where will it lead you to? Are you going to be dealing with these more possibly mundane questions, or is a spiritual dimension going to become more clear, a path to follow or considerations to make about such things?
So I don't know if this has to do with material or career concerns. It's interesting here to me, or financial concerns, because you've got two rather financial or materially oriented cards, and then you have the bear, and the bear is about financial security, investing in yourself, as well as your own personal empowerment or power. So I would say to you, you're at the crossroads here with this, potentially this area of your life, or or trying to figure out what you are lacking in your life. And I think here this is keeping you at the crossroads obtaining your true empowerment, or attaining your true financial, material, or career security right now. So I think here you've got to get to the bottom of what you need to do to turn this around, or realize that maybe you have more going for yourself than you think, and this idea of lack is just an illusion. Maybe it's just a lack of confidence is what you're lacking. But you are going to have to do some soul searching and figure that out. So that's what I have.
Yeah, I agree.
Good luck with that. Sienna's up. Hi, Sienna.
Hi.
It's so great having an active chat, but I do have to go way back to find the questions. And guess what? I can only go so far back. I can't get up there. Oh, there it is. General reading. Gotcha. All right.
Yep, there we go. Alrighty. That has happened before.
I will use this deck. Ciro Marchetti's, the Marchetti Tarot. It's the Nine of Coins upright. I have to hold it up there that long. The Three of Swords is upright. And the Four of Swords is reversed. I'm sorry, Four of Wands. Wands is reversed. That's the TFT's party card.
All right, in the Lenormand, we have the garden. Pretty garden. And we have the whip.
Okay. The Nine of Pentacles indicates to me that if you're not feeling, you should feel comfortable where you are right now. Or maybe what this is saying is appreciate what you have in your life right now. How far you have come, how much you have going for you. You know, there's a lot to feel good about. Maybe you may not realize that, but there is a lot to feel good about. This is interesting because in a way, I know they had the Nine of Pentacles reversed in that reading and we addressed it differently. But in a way, this reminds me of some of the message of last reading. What is of value to you? But it's a little bit different. It's just appreciate the good things and the progress that you have made in your life. You know, this is your life. This is something you have created for yourself. And so appreciate that, you know?
So it feels really good as a general reading, like maybe, you know, things kind of have a chill feeling, have a feeling like you're looking forward to enjoying the season or whatever. Maybe, you know, this indicates whether you are alone or not, that you enjoy sometimes a solitary existence.
I like that.
But it doesn't mean necessarily that you're not, you know, alone. It just means that you value your private time. And so there may be these opportunities coming to you in the near future as a general reading that, you know, you're going to have time to read or enjoy gardening or something like that. Of course, then we move to the Three of Swords.
Yeah, I like that. And so I'm beginning to think here, you know, as this reading is unwinding, that some of these are different things that might be coming your way. The Three of Swords does indicate some sorrow, some sadness, you know, with somebody leaving your life. Do you have to maybe attend a funeral? Or, you know, is somebody moving away? There's some sorrow, sadness, or grief that you might be experiencing. Maybe it's personal to yourself. You're just suddenly feeling bad about something. You know, and that's why it's important to really, you know, and enjoy the things you have, enjoy the things around you, enjoy your life, you know. Obviously, you know, things can go bad, things can go wrong if this is affecting somebody close to you. And, you know, feel the feels, but try to work your way through them as best you can. Give yourself the time it takes to heal from whatever this particular situation is.
That Three of Swords means emotional upset that does require healing of some sort. And it could take various forms depending. Now, nothing was specific maybe about, you know, somebody dying or passing, but somebody maybe is moving away from you for some reason. And I wonder if it's somebody connected to you through family of some sort, because of course we have that card there. So I wonder if this could mean, it could mean different things. Like maybe it could mean a child growing up and moving far away from home to pursue whatever, or maybe somebody else is doing something like that. So maybe that's is pretending that the good news is, of course, adjusting your emotional geography to the sense of loss in your family or home, disconnection.
I think here it could also indicate other losses. Perhaps you have to leave a job behind, or you're leaving a school behind, or there's a little bit of sorrow and grief attached to these changes and transitions that we have to go through in life. So it could be something like that too. And I think the Four of Wands here reversed is just indicating to me that, there's still happiness to be obtained, and throughout this period. I think here that you will find it by getting together with family and friends and having some good times together. But also, this could just say, pay attention to the little things in life that bring you joy. You have some sorrow happening here. Think about the little things in life that brings you joy. Like Mr. O said, and I would agree with, maybe this is a time to enjoy the comforts of home, a garden, or your area where you live in. If there's some beautiful things to go see, take walks out in nature, etc. The simple things in life sometimes can take us out of this sense of grief and loss that we are experiencing.
It's very interesting that we have so many cards that sort of have garden, home aspects to them. Literally the garden, but there's a garden implied in the Nine of Pentacles. And then, of course, a home usually has, some amount of landscape gardening within it. So I like all of that. And I wonder if this is saying, I think Banshee touched on it, that sometimes one of the greatest relievers of stress or sorrows and conflicts is just getting out in the air and breathing, just some sense of nature. We don't have to necessarily all get out to the woods or to the ocean side. If we could, that might be even more calming. But maybe we have a garden that we can, spend a little time in to rejuvenate. And I guess the whip is just saying, this is necessary. Do it. Do it quickly. Get
the
out
whip,
there.
Is that in the 3?
It's number
it's a
11.
woman. It's the woman card.
It says whip.
Oh, it's a woman whipping? Oh, I forgot. Whoa. Hey there.
I knew I didn't misread that.
Little task mistress. Okay, so what I think here is enjoying the simple things and moving towards discovering more about yourself. This is a period, in a sense, of self-discovery for you. I almost feel that this is a period of self-discovery for you. This is a period of learning about how you can face challenges in your life and appreciate what you have.
All right. That's
what we have for you. Good luck with that. Sorry, I made that mistake. I looked at that and thought, that's the lady. I couldn't see the whip from, my angle here. It's funny. Okay, but I should have remembered that.
So it's going to be my deck now.
All right, Country Love is up.
Okay, so I'm looking at your question, Country Love. Finally pulled the trigger on my DJ Appreciation Day. He was grinning like a kid in the candy store. He's a man of few words. How did this make him feel?
Oh, man.
Okay, so this was somebody, if I recall right, that maybe you thought there were some things going on. Maybe some emotional clues or signals happening that might be romantic. Was I right about that, or is that possible? And I'm going to use my Barbary Tarot.
right. Okay, Garima, I like that. We'll see how we'll handle that later.
Yeah,
I
good
have some
question.
thoughts on that.
So how did that make him feel? DJ.
Whoa. Well,
So it's the page or squire of pentacles. It's upright. And it's the six of swords upright. And it's the Empress reversed.
Six of Swords is upright in the
Empress. No, that's the Page of Pentacles.
Page of Pentacles.
The Empress reversed.
Empress reversed.
No, that's the Empress reversed. This is the Six of Swords. You already mentioned that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to validate.
Well, now you know.
Why don't you go ahead?
So, how did this make them feel? Well, Page of Pentacles expresses youth, but it also expresses maybe the idea of wanting to begin something. You know, pages can be beginnings. This may feel very comforting and maybe secure-wise. Pentacles can have the aspects of feeling secure and protected. I don't always associate the Page of Pentacles with material things per se. I sort of feel like a scholarly feel about this page. Here's the heart in the Lenormand and the fish.
Even before I saw the heart, I was thinking the Page of Pentacles is about starting something, a new beginning. Maybe if you're asking how they feel about things, this could say that they feel there's some potential for growth or positive energy coming out of all of this. It looks good, like there could be some good news. Maybe they felt that what you did was really good. Right?
Right, I feel that way. And so I look at the Six of Swords and say, like, maybe this removes trouble for them, that maybe this takes them somewhere where they feel they're better than where they were, like maybe this is the beginning of a journey for them away from something that was troubling. And that could just be past circumstances in general. But, there could be the implied idea that maybe this makes them moving closer to you.
I think the Six of Swords is really a good sign. It just sounds like they feel more at peace now. They actually feel better about things now that this has occurred. It's taken them to a better place. You kind of touched on that. So, I have to agree. So that looks really positive to me.
And then it's the Empress reversed. And, of course, there's implications of self-care here. There's implications of spending time on creating growthful situations or good situations with oneself or one's immediate concerns, perhaps. So maybe this is saying that this makes them feel like there's something really here to work on.
Because these two cards are so positive, when I'm looking at the Empress reversed, I'm thinking to myself that maybe this person feels now that some stalemate or stagnation is behind them. That things are going to start growing, in the right direction now. Things are going to be a lot more growthful than they've been, that there's fertile ground for growth here. I almost feel that, even though that card's reversed, because what it's saying is maybe the period of stagnation is over, because these two cards really, to me, work to modify that a little bit.
So then the Lenormand. fish and the heart.
I feel like there's an abundance of good feelings here. You know, you want to know about intentions and feelings? I just feel like there's an abundance of good feeling.
Right, and this is how it makes DJ feel. So they're very warmed here. They have a multitude of strong emotional good feels.
So I don't know. This is an interesting situation. I mean, it's good, but I'm not sure. You know, I can't remember everything that went on with you and DJ. If this is somebody you really, you know, wanted to have something get off the ground or not. So whatever the case may be here is I think they feel really strongly now about, you know, something positive coming out of all of this. Good luck with that.
All right.
Looks good. Either way. And Mr. Rivera is up.
Mr. Rivera wanted an oracle card, I believe.
Ah. Okay. Well, I'm not going to use my Oracle of the Universe yet. I have the Season of the Witch. I have the Loteria. I have that. I have that. Let's go back to the Loteria because I haven't used that. I could use the Season of the Witch, but I want to use this one again. I got to use this again for the collective. I really like this deck. This is awesome.
Oh, great. I'm glad you saw that. Okay, super. Thank you, country.
All right. Hey, you're welcome.
You're welcome. The Loteria is fine.
Loteria. I don't know. I don't know. We will argue. Hey, you just stick with your French. Loteria. You're probably right. Remedios. Remedios. Would you agree with Remedios?
Remedios.
Okay. I took 3 years of Spanish, but so long ago now. So long ago.
Yeah, it's a wonder I can remember anything. That's bad of me.
This is El Arpa. El Arpa. The harp. What number was that? 53?
53.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Silly me. El Arpa. Divinity. Relaxation and attunement. El Arpa appears as a reminder for you to relax. Perhaps you have endured a lot of stress lately. Maybe you've completed a monumental task, or your regular day-to-day routines have kept you pulled into a busy loop when you can step out of, if only for a few minutes. Each cell within us carries a vibration, so take time to listen to your own body of music. Harps are among the oldest instruments in the world, dating back to 3000 BC in Africa. Their music is summoned to help with meditation, sleep, or activities requiring calm and focus. They create sounds so enchanting that across time and cultures they have become associated with divinity, celestial spaces, or a higher calling. For this reason, a harp's graceful melodies can help sanctify a space, often accompanying weddings, funerals, and other transformative occasions. Yeah, that's interesting. And you know, I just absolutely love harp music. El Arpa is calling to you. Find a piece of music to enjoy in a serene space and see what this magical instrument evokes. If you have a question in your heart, listen with a quiet mind and you just might receive an answer. at the very least, you have allowed your being the time to tune into a higher vibration. And I think that's the key. You need to make time in your life right now, Mr. Rivera, to tune into higher vibrations. You know, there's a lot of talk here about tuning out the news. I certainly don't recommend doing that completely, but sometimes we do need to dial it down a bit, you know, and tune things out in order to tune in some higher vibrations. And meditate, relax more. Our day-to-day can be a struggle. And not only that, you know, this is why I say we can't tune out the news. We do have to deal with some of the things in life that are hitting us head on. And the only way we find out about that is through news or information or watching what's going on. And so I feel here, you know, that we have to sometimes pull ourselves away. Even what's going on today, right now, is affecting a lot of us very adversely. And so I think here we need to take care of ourselves more, take care of our bodies, take care of our minds, de-stress, decompress, do the things, and listen to music. I am sure on YouTube or wherever you can find some harp music to listen to.
Or bird music.
Oh my gosh.
And a letter.
Well, this is amazing. Let that music communicate to you. You know, let the quiet, the stress-free times you provide for yourself communicate to you. Let it sing its song, you know, let yourself go. And definitely, if you do listen to the harp music, do it when you want to be in a meditative frame of mind.
Right. This is the message, I guess. I don't know. I can't really put those two together because they're both the same thing to me. Mm-hmm. In a way, you know, a letter is communication. So it is really saying, yeah, I guess the message of the harp needs to be communicated to yourself.
So good luck with that. This was very awesome. I really like this reading.
Mr. O's.
I just like this deck, though. It's awesome.
All right.
All right. So what we have for you. Good luck with that.
Zorine is up. Hi, Zorine.
Oh, Garima. Well, we do have the quest. Wait, is it Garima already? No, it's Zorine. Okay. Right. It's Zorine's turn. Hello, Zorine.
Will Abdul-Rahman contact me and talk to me and reply to my text? Will there be any progression coming in our relationship? Scenarios, he's not talking right now. Well, that's not good.
So is there any hope for a relationship where there's no communication right now, correct?
I read unless they reposted slightly rephrasing it. Will Abdul contact me and talk to me and reply to my text? Any progression coming in a relationship because current scenario not talking to me or replying?
Okay, so it's about whether you're going to hear from them and if there's any hope for a relationship. Okay. I got that.
I'm using the Tarot of the Magical Forest again. That complements with that Lenormand. So, will Abdul get in touch with you again? And it's the Knight of Swords reversed.
The Knight?
Yes, Knight, as in good night. It's the Queen of Wands upright, so we're getting more court cards again. And the reversed Ace of Swords.
Hold up.
Here's the woman. And the ring.
This is going to be really a mixed bag sort of reading.
I think so.
Knight of Swords is reversed, which indicates to me that communication is off right now, and it seems like there's no movement to change that at the moment.
It could be that maybe this is masking reckless behavior of some sort. This is sort of feeling like
be.
maybe they're careening about, that they're definitely not focused. I mean, it could be even more dramatic that maybe they're acting out in some way.
Right,
And
it can be an aggressive act, them not wanting to communicate. It could be seen that way. And that's the Queen
the Queen of Wands.
upright?
Yes.
Okay, the Queen of Wands is upright, and I feel here they may feel, I don't know.
Is it possible that there's another person that they're interested in or that is involved somehow?
This is a tough one for me.
Because the Queen of Wands can represent somebody of charm or presence, somebody who maybe is, alluring. I almost wonder if there could be another person who is maybe come in between you guys, and that maybe that's the reason he's in an avoidance thing. But if it's not about another person, then it could just be saying that they are seeking to make themselves charming or convincing in ways, maybe to other effects, maybe to other people.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I can't rule out the possibility that Mr. O said about potentially there being another person that they're attracted to, because that is highly possible with this Queen. But it could also indicate to me that what they're doing, you should really not allow this to be any reflection on you. I think here that, you may have charmed them. They may have felt an attraction for you, but, whatever has transpired to cause them to move away, whether there's also another person that they're highly attracted to, they've decided to stop communicating. And I feel here, what I want to say is they may feel that there's no point in communicating at this time. There's no point in it. It may in fact be, and see, I like it really struck me what Mr. O said, that there could be somebody else they're interested in, because it seems to me they feel like you would not fulfill, their need. They wouldn't feel like this would work out or be as good for them as perhaps making a commitment to someone else.
Yeah, I figured that's how I would jump ahead to that at some point. And I feel, sadly, that the Ace of Swords may be indicating that they are backing away from your relationship, or they're changing the terms of the relationship, whatever that is, to either just want to be friends or basically no contact. So then the Lenormand does seem to indicate that what they're thinking of is making a commitment to somebody else. It's what it looks like.
And again, I could look at it another way. The way I looked at it is that, they aren't communicating. It was an aggressive act of them to just cut it off. And you should not take it as a reflection on you. You have a lot going for you. They were attracted to you initially. However, they've made this choice or decision, whether for better or worse, and to me it looks like it's not necessarily a good decision, to make a commitment to someone else. It's kind of the way I'm looking at the way it's going right now.
So that answers the question, will he be coming back, as you asked there? It doesn't look like it. I mean, we would love to be wrong. You could certainly
let us know if we're wrong. Maybe.
But we think that they have moved on. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but you never know what could happen here. Just because he wants to make a commitment to someone else.
That's true.
What if he doesn't? Will he come back? Maybe. So I can't rule it out, but I would say it looks unlikely at this time. So good luck with that, Zareen. I'm sorry I don't have better news.
All right, so Kara is up.
Kara is up. Hi, Kara.
I really like this. I hope we can figure out what the missing cards are, the new cards are.
Oh, yeah, I will.
I like that deck. What does Odin have for you? Well, apparently it's not Easter dinner.
Hey, you're very welcome, Serene. Good luck with that whole thing. Kara. All right, Kara wants to know what Odin has. You know, Kara, I almost bought myself a little Thor statue yesterday. I like Thor, and they had a little Thor one. I'm like, oh, they have Thor. I should grab him while he's here. But the ducks called to me instead. My Thor will have to wait. I hope he understands and doesn't bring down the hammer on me. Oh, it was my duck. I'm sorry.
Yes. I thought you knew.
Well, let's go outer spacey with my other outer space deck. So what does Odin have for you? Oh. Well, this is the Seven of Discs, not Cups. It kind of reminds me of the Seven of Cups, but it's...
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess...
But they're in a greenhouse of some sort, or, they're watching something.
Ah, yes. I guess Odin wants you to pull back and assess your progress right now, your progress on, things, what you'd hope to accomplish, and maybe some of the tasks that he has thrown at you in the past. Maybe he wants you to step back now and assess that.
I think that's a good idea. Or else he's asking you to start a growing operation. But
But
seriously, though, I think Odin wants you to take that time to assess yourself, because really things don't grow unless you do certain things for them. They don't grow on their own necessarily. Some things do, but Odin may feel that the things you want to grow, maybe you need to look at them and think about what else you can do for them, if there's anything that needs to make a big change.
Well, I really like what you said about growing things, because in a sense maybe Odin...
Well, you said it too, though.
Yeah, it did, but a little bit differently. But maybe Odin wants you to see what more you can do to help things grow. To help promote that growth of some of the stuff that you have been working on, and also to plant the seeds for some future growth. Maybe he wants you to do that as well. I'm going to see why this is important. Maybe that'll give me a better idea here. So why is this important? Oh, because, he doesn't want you to get all stressed out and anxious about things. So he wants you to be attentive and focused on what you need to do to grow things and not get anxious about it. It's like... he doesn't want you to be stressed. He doesn't want you to worry. So the more you can do to plan a strategy for making things grow, or go in the right direction for yourself, the better. The less you will stress.
Well, Odin thinks that you should maybe focus on the things you need to grow. And so by that token, it's probably... Odin might be saying maybe you spend too much time on other people's dramas, maybe because they try to pull you in, of course, friends or whatnot. And so those give you anxieties that will interfere with that if you have certain anxieties that may be counterproductive for what he wants you to do.
I like that.
And I think that's why it's important for you to understand that then. So where will this go, Kara?
Well, this is very interesting.
Uh-oh.
It's the Five of Wands.
Oh, beam you laser.
Well, I think this is about engagement, and also putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
This is kind of an interesting one. You've got all these ships here. And it's a different take on the Five of Wands to me a little bit here, in that you've got all these ships here in the sky. Are they working together, or is this guy trying to direct the action himself. And so I'm almost thinking here, where things are headed is that you're going to be putting all the pieces together. You're going to be putting all the pieces together and making something and allow, so that things will take off and grow.
I like that because although Odin felt, you need to look at things, maybe he realized that, you were stalling there and you need to continue working ahead. So in Lenormand, we have the book, which is knowledge, I guess, and we have the crossroads. And so maybe you stand at a point right now, Kara, where you can really figure out more things that you can do with these situations.
Yeah, it's funny. I think the crossroads is here. The crossroads is here with trying to put all the pieces together, and you might be at a crossroads with that. And, there may be some mysteries or clues you need to figure out before you can do that. And so whether it's, found in books, or another thought I had about that 5, which was kind of interesting, is how you can work together with these energies of the gods above, to support you in growing what you want to grow. And so you could be at a crossroads of learning what it takes, or maybe finding even out from your connections with these deities and some of the work that you do, you might obtain the answers on how to put these pieces together. Does that make sense?
It does, actually.
Yeah, I hope so. So, do you have anything to add, or are you set?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, that's what we have for you, Kara. Good luck with that. That Odin. Okay, we're on Victorious Moon.
And their question is there.
I'll take my cards, and then I'll look at it. Oh, granddaughter. Scheduled for surgery. Gymnastic injury. Okay, so will the surgery be successful so that she'll be able to compete again? Is that the question? Yeah. I think that's pretty much the question. All right, let me grab these cute Lenormand that you like. I should look at what some... I've forgotten what the extra cards are, but so far we only got that one.
And safe travels too. Okay.
Incense burner.
That's so crazy.
No, it's not. I mean, Cyril Marchetti did it, so, there's one called The Soul. That would have been cool if it came up for Russ's question.
Yeah.
The bed. And that's it, I think.
Our first card is the Wheel of Fortune. It's reversed. The next card is the Page of Pentacles, which is upright. And then the final card is the Empress, and that is also reversed.
It's going to take some time, I think. So the Wheel of Fortune is upright, reversed. Upright.
There's a sense with the Wheel of Fortune reversed that maybe there are some unintended consequences. There may be something that it causes a delay. I'm wondering if that's more on the travel part of it that you mentioned. But it could just be indicating that something doesn't
Okay.
exactly work right. I'm not wanting to put it towards the surgery itself at this point. I would want to see more things about that.
Well, I am going to put it there. I think the wheel is saying to me that, recovery might be a little bit slower. There may be also be cautious with travel. There could be some complications with the travel. I can't rule that out with the wheel, and it could come up unexpectedly because that's
Yeah.
the way the wheel works sometimes. So I would be aware of that. So I'm thinking here, the wheel isn't saying it may not be successful, but there may be delays with the surgery. And what is this one again?
Page of Pentacles.
Upright?
Yeah.
Page of Pentacles is upright. So I think here there's good news. In other words, I think that there may be a recovery. It sounds positive for that. I don't think that has to do with the travel so much as I think it has to do with the recovery. So in other words, she probably will be able to get back to doing gymnastics or, some activities thereof. But I think, there's likely going to be a delay involved. They may need more recovery time.
Right. It looks like that to me as well. I think the Page of Pentacles is a good card for this success.
Yeah.
It has real body connection, in a sense of physicality. And I feel like if your granddaughter is normally the kind of person that we might consider patient compliant or somebody who can understand, serious situations, then I think she's compliant or works well with that. And when I look at the Empress reverse, sometimes I just get that self-care feel there too, and that this is saying really they need to make what?
Never mind. Just go ahead. What is that one again?
The Empress reversed.
Go on.
That I just think that they need to also take time and also, do the right things for themselves.
Self-care is going to be essential here. It's absolute. I was going to go that way without looking at these cards and because of what we're saying here. And so again, this is a time where your granddaughter's going to have to focus on herself and her recovery. And if there's physical therapy or other things like that involved, she's got to follow this program through and put in the work in order to achieve and maybe minimize some of the delays in her recovery. But there are no shortcuts here. Let me make that clear. And I think these will define that quite well.
It's the Garden.
And one of the new cards.
It's the Bed.
Clearly rest and following the program is going to be essential here for her to get back out there and doing what she loves to do. The activities that she likes to do.
The Garden is a symbol of being out in public, having a public life, whether it's as a celebrity or just being engaged in a public life.
Engaged in the things she likes to do with others, So I think it's going to come, but I think it's going to really take some effort, to get there. And, they can do amazing things now. And so I'm hoping that, what I'm seeing here with the Wheel of Fortune reversed is just indicating a delay and that it's going to take a little bit longer for things to get to where they need to be. But
Right.
I wish you luck with that. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Victorious. Let us know how it goes.
And I think the travel, from what I'm seeing here, only really, I think what spoke to that is the wheel. And again, it just could indicate that there could be some unforeseen things that happen or come up. I don't think it's going to be super major because I do sense there's a progression here going on with surgery and recovery. So good luck with that.
Good luck. All right. So Jamie's Cowboys is up.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie's. General. All right, general reading. Let's see what's going on for Jamie. Let's see.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry to hear that.
This one.
And it's your deck, right?
Yep.
Okay. You're welcome. Is this about the legal thing again? Okay.
I think I know. Let's see. All right, we've got the 10 of Wands reversed, which is good. I know your heart is broken, but you've got the Ace of Cups here upright. Look at these positive cards. There's a lot of positivity here, Jamie. The King of Cups is upright. So I hazard to just say here that even though you've experienced a heartache, maybe this just had to happen. I'm sorry that it did, but maybe it just had to happen for better things to start happening in your life.
You're welcome. Good luck to you, Victorious.
Well, good luck with that. Thanks for telling us that info.
Shall I throw the,
keep us posted.
The Lenormand real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the Tower and the Ring.
Wow. So I'm looking here and I'm seeing, well, that's going to be interesting, that last part. But let me just take a look at things here. You know, it looks as though with the 10 of Wands reversed, this is a time to unburden yourself. Maybe unburden yourself of pain and sorrow, or, you know, situations that maybe you just didn't need in your life, you know, that were more stressful and burdensome than they were worth. Maybe this is a time for you to de-stress, let some things go, let some baggage go. And I don't want to say that, you know, disrespectfully for what you've been through. But I do want to say that, you know, this is a time to de-stress. And the best way, and I have to say here, you know, it's possible some of your pain and hurt comes because you're a very open-hearted person, Jamie. You know, right here with the King of Cups, excuse me, and I'm trying to look at the other card, but you're in my way. And the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. That's why I was saying it. You know, you seem to be a very open-hearted person here. You can wear your heart on your sleeve sometimes. But in a good way. But the only problem is sometimes, you know, that gets taken advantage of. And so I feel here, though, don't let this shut your heart down. Love is still out there, and good things that will bring the happiness and joy back into your life. Hey, whether it's romantic or whether it's other things that are bringing happiness and joy into your life. And you will be in control once more of your emotions. The King of Cups guarantees that. But I'm also looking at those two cards in combination to just say, this is really showing the type of person you truly are. Okay, I'll stop there.
Oh, you will?
I will.
Well, I don't know how to say this without maybe, you know, causing more pain, but I get the feeling like that 10 of Wands reverse means you realized you had to let something or someone go with love, that maybe you had to realize there was no recourse other than to let this thing go. Sometimes this says it's about a burden or an obligation.
Yeah.
And so maybe whatever this was, you had to let it go. And you let it go with love. I know this because the Ace of Cups is there too. That maybe you see this as a beginning. Maybe it's a beginning for something else, that thing that you let go, you know. if you love someone, set it free, that kind of thing. But this could also be reciprocal to you too, that it also, because you let go of that, it leaves you open for a new beginning that maybe is sure to follow.
And I did
right,
go through
all
the
way
last,
through?
yeah.
So the King of Cups, I think, is saying really, and she said it pretty good too, but the King of Cups
I've said it. Yeah.
is such a benevolent, good-hearted person that they see the wisdom in loving choices or loving decisions. And so there may be this sense really of that sadness, but in a way too, you know, you did this for love, and that because of that, it's a powerful thing for you. I'm going to cry a little bit.
Commit yourself to becoming stronger, becoming stronger emotionally, and understanding that, and commit yourself to, it's almost like this tower is saying, it's about isolation a lot, but what I see here is not so much you isolating yourself, but you standing strong. You standing strong and tall. And towers are tall, right? And, a lot of towers are run by corporate interests and big things. And so I think here you need to commit yourself to the bigger picture and realize that what you've lost maybe will bring you eventual gain and happiness into your life, because what you lost caused you all this upset and pain, that you felt so burdened, that this release will feel like, a blessing in a way to you, and will open that door to bringing more love and happiness and joy in your life, as well as you becoming stronger emotionally.
Well, the tower can be many things in the Lenormand. It's not really the same as Tarot's tower.
I have something else too. Sorry. Commit yourself to also maybe getting some professional support if you need it. Okay.
So, like I said, the tower can be different things. It could also be institutional. So maybe this is something connected to your vocation or avocation. But maybe I'll go more general and say this is about your duty. This is about, something you pledge yourself to do. The devotion that says, I pledge myself to what is important and responsible, that it was better for this outcome to happen for their sakes or for someone else's sakes.
Well, that's not necessarily true, Jamie. They could have been in your past life. That wasn't part of this question. And just because things go horribly wrong in this life does not mean you did not have some karma playing out in this life that caused this, in a past life, that caused this to happen in this life. So, you can't make that assumption or connection. Our lifespans, if we had, it varies. It depends how many past lives you've had, but many people have lived a number of past lives. And I think here, they could have been somewhere in your past life. They might not have been a main player in that past life. Or maybe they're just not meant to be a main player in this past life or present life. Sorry.
Well, it could also be that you just have different things to do, different weights or gravities, and maybe anything that is some sort of obligation that was let go, as you say, or that I said, means also that that's not important in this lifetime, that it may come in another lifetime perhaps. Good for you.
That's what we have for you.
All
Good
right.
luck with that. Mr. M is up. I don't know if Mr. M left a question or was just saying hi.
I don't know. Usually they come in with the question when they're called, and I bet you there it is.
Oh, hi, Mr. M. Thanks for sticking with us. Happy Easter to you.
Happy Easter to you. I'm going to check to make sure we got that. So
And it was happy birthday. My birthday was yesterday. Woohoo! So it's a happy weekend all around.
Mr. Maurice, thank you so much. That's very sweet of you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. M.
Thank you so much for your donation.
All right. So what is this question? What do the cards see coming towards my current job in general? Whew. Let's see what they have. We had, there was at least one of our clients yesterday that we read for who had some very real concerns about economic stability and things going forward in this year ahead, and I can't say I blame them. I mean, this is tough, difficult times right now for a lot of us.
That's right, Russ. I do feel that way strongly. And sometimes we're in each other's lives, but we're not necessarily there for the same reasons we were before. And so that karma may actually be different. And maybe, it plays out in a different way or with a different situation.
I'm using this deck again. I don't know why I picked this deck again, but I am.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was mine. Oh, it is your deck. Well, I better focus on the Lenormand then real quickly. Sorry. Oh, my gosh.
We won't forget Kara. It'll be your birthday too, so oh goodness, we're gonna have to squeeze in your reading too.
That's what I'm saying. We're really booked at this time of year, and this I remember this. I do remember
Announcing no more birthdays.
Hey,
no one will grow older. That's the plus side. No one grows older.
I didn't even get to do mine, but I will. I think I got a great plan for it. So stay tuned. Besides, I have to test out. Sometimes I do my readings or my special videos on a program called Photo Booth. And for some reason, I did my Material Matters once on that show recently, or on that program recently, and it wouldn't come up. It looked like everything filmed. It looked like the time was there, but it wouldn't play. And so I don't know if there was a problem with the program or what, so I want to test it again. I'm going to try it on my own and see if it works for my birthday reading.
All right, Mr. Maurice, what do the cards show coming for your current job? Coming towards you. Two of Wands is upright. Four of Swords is reversed. And the Page of Wands is reversed. So
it's a mixed bag. But wait.
It's a mixed bag,
there's more.
Clear.
Hold my beer. No.
Hold your beer. Oh, there's the Fox. And the Star.
See what I mean?
So it is mixed, but I think it leans more towards some interesting situations.
I'll let you go first.
I'm just going to start with that Two of Wands and say that things seem to have maybe secured in some respects, and so now you are looking at the possibility of shifting your energy somewhere else. You may want to focus on promotion still, or some sort of sense of advancement. It is maybe possible that maybe you've even heard about something that might take you out of your current employment, but you'll want to think about it because, of course, you have a lot of time invested there. But it looks like something, it could, if it is that, it looks like it could be something promising. Thanks, Jamies.
Hold my beer. I couldn't resist saying that. I've been wanting to say that.
Appreciate that. So did you...
I see it on so many different memes lately.
I just covered the Two of Wands.
I understand.
Okay.
And the Two of Wands reverse to me indicates that it's hard to plan right now. It's hard to strategize. It's hard to really get a bead on what is going on because of what? It's the Two of Wands, right?
Yeah, I
reverse?
thought it was... No, it's not reversed.
Oh, it's reversed. Oh, it's upright. But that is why we have to not. Okay, I still hold to that. That is why we have to have alternative plans in place, and we have to look out for other opportunities. And have a backup plan. I really think that's what I feel here is like you need to maybe, venture out and have a backup plan and maybe even look for new opportunities outside of your comfort zone right now, just in case. It doesn't hurt to see if you're marketable anywhere else besides your, where you're at now, in order to see, and you don't have to say yes if you get the job and things are still stable where you're at, but at least that you might be able to get something else out there.
Well, whether it's a recovery plan or whether it's just realizing that you want to focus on something else, you see something else coming to you, it really brings a renewal of energy or purpose. It sort of makes you feel like there is still life in the old boy, yet there is still some sort of path forward for you that's new or that you didn't realize before. Well,
I have to say here that I feel this ties into what I said with this card in a way, because that's Four of Swords reversed, because you need to put energy into this. I really think that also you might just feel more confident and less stressful knowing that there's something else out there for you should the bottom drop out. Because I'm looking at that Page of Wands there, right? It's Page of Wands, and it's reversed, and I feel here that there could be some disappointing news with your work or career coming. And you have to be or that maybe you're worried about that right now, and so it's better to kind of have yourself prepared for that potential.
Well, I think
go on. Don't go to the Lenormand, though.
Okay, I think it's more likely that the Page of Wands could be saying there's a delay in you getting the news you expect, or you aren't getting the news you expect. It might be other news, but it might not be the news you expect, or it's delayed somehow.
What I said being said, though, with my situation, Mr. M, when I look at the Star and the Fox, I would say here that being said, there is some hope. There is some hope that your job, it will be there for you still. That, if there's even not any advancement going on in your present place of employment, that remain optimistic that there could be a change in outlook and things could go your way. But I have to say here, I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. And isn't that a surprise? Because there's so much back and forth going on, with layoffs, not layoffs, with privatizing, not privatizing things, with tariffs, not tariffs, all that stuff. So I'm just saying here that things are really uncertain at this time. But there is some potential hope here that things could work out for you exactly where you are. But just start thinking of having a backup plan and maybe even stepping outside your comfort zone and exploring some things just in case.
These two cards seem to show that there is this shift of energies or this shift of activity, that things could maybe go back and forth. It almost sounds like stock market stuff,
I know.
But it could be because, and ultimately that may affect everyone, the idea of how this market is doing that. So having said that, the Fox itself is maybe broadly talking about business in general, and I think this trend exists outside of you, but it affects you. That I think this is saying there is something good or hopeful happening with circumstance relating the economy or business. It could be that it is more particular to you, because you did ask the question for yourself.
Yeah.
I just get a feel like this will affect other people too. But it's not germane to your reading.
So it makes me think that if there are changes being made, to your work area, to the services, that you may be able to weather them. I mean, you might be able to still weather that, but it's really uncertain still. I think there's positivity in having a backup plan and
Agreed.
considering your options, just in case bad news arrives. So, and hey, bad news may arrive, but then again, lawsuits, court actions, other things may arise that could turn it around too. So, or just the fact that you may be able to make it through whatever transition is taking place.
I want to think that.
So good luck with that. And feel free to come back and ask again in a week or two, and we'll just see if things are shifting, or especially if some news comes out, or rumors come out of what might be going on. Okay?
We'll check it out.
So good luck with that. And Juan Garima, who had interesting...
And thanks again for your donation. Appreciate
question.
it.
And yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. We really, really appreciate that. And we are on Garima. And I got to look at their question again because I think there's a certain way I want to do it.
Well, they have invited Kadisha for a trip next month, who has said yes, and they're wondering should they express their interest.
And they're also wondering if she likes someone else right now. There's 2 questions there, and so I'm thinking of doing the 2 and 2 on
All right,
this.
that sounds good.
So let's do that. And I will say this, I'm not going to do a yes or no for both of those. I think the most important question is if you should express your interest in her. And if it's ambiguous, that part of the 2 and 2, we'll do a yes-no on that question. That's the best I'm going to do for you today because we don't have time to throw a lot of extra cards. We're into overtime now. Okay.
Yeah, we can see about that with the 2 and 2, Garima. I see you added something at the end there. You're welcome. All right, so that's going to be your deck.
Did I just use mine?
No, you used the Lenormand. I used my...
I did. You're right, the cute fox. Gotcha. I'll use this one.
So I'm going to do 2 and 2 for the Lenormand also. All right.
Correct.
You're welcome, Mr. Maurice. Thank you so much for the donation. Very generous. Thank you.
You're very welcome. It's funny, I had a reading in my Material Matters for one of the signs where it was a very similar back and forth thing, and I think it was with finances for the sign. But it was the same thing. It was like this flip-flopping going on, and it was definitely related to financial matters, maybe career. Can't remember what sign that was, but it was just similar to what you got. Different cards.
So we will be doing the Unhappy Hour. I'm not exactly sure when it will be tonight. It will be tonight by maybe 9 p.m. or so, hopefully.
Okay, so should you express, is she interested in someone else? We'll do those. And you got the Lenormand for each. So
yes.
Let's do this one first. Should you express your feelings for Kadisha? You got the 3 of Wands reversed.
Whoops, why do I have that there? I don't need that there.
Let me think about this now. This is 17. So this is the star because the moon is 18, right? Yeah, so that's
Temperance.
It's the star though. Look at the number.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So
Stars
it's got
in the
mixed imagery here, but that's the star upright, which is pretty good. Those 2 go together.
I know. I'm going to put the Lenormand
okay.
in between them.
I'm sorry.
You should be.
Well, you usually throw this whole thing out at the same time.
All right. So then in the Lenormand, the first card is the fox and the ship. Ooh.
All right. Well, I've got some thoughts here on this. It's not all bad. It's not all bad because, of course, you have the star here. Mm-hmm. So I think here you've got to decide, you're going to have to weigh if it's really the right moment to do this. The Three of Wands is often about anticipation and waiting for something to happen or develop. Do you need to see more how things are going to develop first between you and Kadisha on this trip before you express your desires for her? I'm wondering about that. What do you think?
I feel that it could be saying that it's not the right time. That's what Banshee said.
Well, I'm saying for you to decide.
Then I'm saying that
Okay.
maybe you might find the opportunity doesn't express itself to have that kind of conversation or sentiment happen. But it doesn't mean that you shouldn't necessarily try it. It just could mean that maybe it's not the most advantageous time for the opportunity.
However,
I do agree.
I didn't go there.
Okay. I thought you said something about it.
No, I didn't. However, the star is here, and so I would just say to you this, that this relationship does look promising, okay? It really does look promising. So that's why I feel that you have to determine whether or not this is the right time to totally express yourself or to let this good feelings that you have with each other grow even stronger first.
I saw what you wrote there, and I think that's an interesting point, that maybe the Three of Wands reverse could represent the idea that there is this other person. We will be looking at that in the separate reading, but that may add weight to that idea about why this opportunity has a flux going on.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so, again, I have to say here with the ship and the fox, it is saying move smartly forward on this. Whatever you really think.
Clever.
We can't tell you truly to just go out and do it. I think that's up to you weighing the circumstances of this. Mr. O is saying it doesn't look like the time is right. He's gone out and said that. And I'm saying to you, you have to really decide if the time is right. Maybe this other person did express interest in her. But you're not going to be able to control what she decides here. If you feel this, you need to get your feelings out there first before, this other person makes a move on her, then, you should take the chances. But you really ought to move smartly on this and consider if the time is really right. Okay? That's what this is all about.
Right. I don't know that there's any indication of not or yes, moving too fast.
And as soon as we do the other reading, we will do the yes-no on this one, okay? The quick yes-no.
Sure.
So let's look at the other cards. And this one was about, was it just she's interested in someone else, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to move these aside here.
Okay, we have the Queen of Cups reversed here. And we have the King of Swords reversed here. And what do you got to go with that? I'm curious. Oh.
The Sun and the Rider. So the Sun with the Rider following.
Well, this is a tough one.
Yeah, this one's a little
tough.
But
I almost feel like there's no compatibility between her and anybody else at this time. I mean, I'm not, you aside, I think, I'm talking about other people, right? Mm-hmm. There seems to be nobody right now. I get the feeling. She's not necessarily interested in someone else. Her heart is not open to that.
Right. I'm looking at those two, and I sort of get that feel that, with that other person in particular that you mentioned, I don't feel there's a strong pull that would lead them towards something else. Maybe on the other person's end, but not on Kadisha's end.
Right.
I feel that way.
If the King of Swords is representing that person, and that person is reversed, she may feel that they may be coming on too strongly. and it may be unattractive to her.
Well, it makes her question the situation.
Yeah. And I think what she's moving towards is something that really makes her, that brings her joy. I think that's what she really wants to move towards. And so if you're feeling the good feelings with her right now, and she seems to be enjoying your company, take it for what it's worth. But I would say tread carefully here and make sure it's the right time, that you don't want to build this up further before you express what your desires truly are. Maybe this trip will bring it out naturally anyway. It's possible here. I can't rule that out.
Well, we're still going to do that, yes, no.
We are. So
All right.
let's see what we get with that.
So can you frame that question?
The question is,
It's about the first situation.
yeah. Someone else. If there's just someone, well...
No, that was the second
Yeah, that was
part.
the other one. It was basically if they should express themselves.
That's
Should
what it
they
was,
express their true desire, on this trip? That's
Well,
the
it says
question.
interest. It doesn't say true desire, but that's
Well,
okay.
it's... Intentions.
Okay.
Fine.
All right, let's
Picky
do that.
knit. All right. Right after the show, we are going to be on filming our Unhappy Hour show, which tells you what might be going wrong during this moon phase, the fourth quarter moon, and going up to next fourth quarter moon, and how to turn that frown upside down. It's for the zodiac signs, the elemental signs of the zodiac and the world for about the next 3 weeks or so, 4 weeks.
Cups.
It is a cup, all right.
It will come naturally.
It will come. See, that's what I'm saying. Let this come naturally. I almost think it's going to come naturally. And you know what? Maybe you're right, Garima. Maybe there's an opportunity here to express your desires at this time. Just make sure, I would say use your intuition and your empathy, your feelings for this person to determine if the time is right. Because this card is about opportunities. Should you grasp this opportunity as it's presented? Maybe. But also, maybe as the card, this position reflects in a yes-no, short yes-no reading, this will come out naturally.
I believe that, and I believe that it's just a matter of being able to find that opportunity. It's probably going to be real natural. I mean, you're going away on a trip together. It should work out. Good luck.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so.
Good luck with that. I know this is a real challenging situation for you. You want to do the right thing at the right time. And, weigh what we both said
I
here.
understand.
Maybe replay this tape again a couple times and determine how you want to approach Khadijah on this trip.
No, I
wish you luck
understand
with
what you
that.
said there. I appreciate that.
Great.
Hey, Shadow. Hello there. How are you? All right. You're welcome and good luck.
And Andrea left a question earlier that was really
Right, that's the
interesting.
one I'm going to use the Ghost Tarot for.
Oh, yeah. That's right. And it is your deck, right? So this is perfect.
It's
All
my
right.
turn anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
So let me go back up a little bit. I think I can go back to this one.
Hi, baby. How's my little girl? Hello there.
I'm almost there. Well, I thought I was. Suddenly I'm not seeing it.
I can look for it.
I might have passed it. Posted my question. Okay, there. Who on the other side? But that's all I'm seeing now. Oh, who on the other side visited me on my birthday yesterday? That was it. Awesome. Awesome question. Let's
All
see.
right, so I'm going to use the Ghost Tarot. it's thematically about ghosts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it proves about ghosts. But, we channel the ideas of ghosts or spirits into the readings anyway. So we'll just see if it gives us a clue.
Shadow has graced us with her presence. How you doing, Shadow?
444.
Yeah, we're really into the OT.
Oh my goodness. And I'm flipping the cards around. I don't like that.
Well, as we were trying to straighten out the birthday reading thing, we did take a little too much time. I really think we could have gotten these readings in a little bit better time, like 5:15, 4:15. Not 5:15. No. We won't be going that long.
All right. That's not a 1, 2, 3, is it?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
All right, here's our cards. So the first card is the upright Six of Cups. And of course, in the Ghost Tarot, it sort of looks like a ghost child and a human child. And the second card is the upright King of Pentacles. And then finally, the last card is the upright Eight of Swords. And this is such a different image for the Eight of Swords.
It is.
Think about it.
I want to see it. Can you hand it to me a minute? Shadow. Yeah, she's bound, but she's at the edge of a cliff. And maybe she's surrounded by a cliff. It's almost like she's on a place that might have a fall off either way.
It just seems
which could be trapping her. I get it. But she has wings, and they're free, and she could fly at any moment. So that's what makes it interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so refresh me a little bit on the other two, because I got
Thank you,
distracted by that one.
What?
Refresh me on the other two.
The Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles.
Somebody
they're all upright.
Definitely from your past has visited you. And when I say that, it's not an ancestor from before you were born. I feel like it's somebody who maybe passed on, during your lifetime, and maybe was a family connection or close friend or a lover, whatever the case may be. But it was definitely somebody that you cherished and were connected with.
Did anybody die as a child that you knew when you were maybe young? Sometimes that happens in our lives.
That's an interesting thought.
I've had a few kids
Yeah.
that I knew as children who died as children. But I do feel the sense of maybe it is a family connection. You say no, so it may be somebody else who passed on who's somehow connected to you. If they're not exactly family, maybe they're a friend of the family, that kind of thing. The King of Pentacles, maybe that's telling us that it's a man who maybe...
I do think it's a male presence. The King of Pentacles is upright.
That's
strong. It could be a father figure type. Is your father passed on by chance? It could be somebody who could be a grandfather even. I'm thinking in terms of somebody with more maturity.
Well, the normal qualities of the King of Pentacles, too, is that maybe they're the person that kind of, whether they are physically or not, they're sort of the glue of the family. They sort of control things, or they sort of are the head of the family. So it could be somebody like that, somebody who was Papa, or somebody like that, depending on how your family runs. Sometimes it's the mom who's in charge of everything.
I like that. I think it was somebody who was, I just think it was somebody who really did care about you in a lot of ways. And I don't know, you didn't ask for a message from them, so I'm not sure if I'm picking up one here yet. But what is the final card?
It's that Eight of Swords.
The Eight of Swords, that's right.
And
God, why am
my feel is that maybe it was somebody who, whether you knew this or not, they had an ambiguous feel about life, that maybe they sort of felt life contained them, but maybe they could transcend it, but they sort of felt like ambivalent in some respects about parts of their life, maybe. I
don't know why, but I'm wondering something else here, that maybe they hadn't been able to really connect with you much. They've been unable to connect with you as much as they had wanted to. And maybe some of that might be out of fear of approaching you for some reason. Now, I don't know if you would know what that might be. Maybe they felt you wouldn't receive them well, or that they were just held back. They just could not get to you. But now, or, maybe it's been a long time since they were, because they couldn't do it. And now they wanted to reassert themselves and show you that they are present. Because really, I almost feel here something held them back, but they may have always had the ability to do it. And that's why I'm wondering if it's on your end a little bit. Are there some sorrows or difficulties attached to the situation with your dad that maybe held them back from wanting to approach you?
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that.
It could be. Like I said, maybe there's some reasons you are blocking them from, coming back. And let's take a look here, because here, look at this, Andrea, and tell me if you can make sense. It's the reason I'm kind of saying it.
It's the cross. And the woman. And, of course, the woman is most likely you.
Yeah. And so I don't know if it's your father who has some grief and sorrow attached to something relating to you, or if, this is relating to the fact that there's so many ways I could read this, really, in a reading like this, which is pretty fascinating to me in and of itself. One is that you yourself might be feeling, you might have been feeling sorrowful or having some, feeling like you miss your dad, etc., like that, and he responded to that. He responded to that and he came back. Or you were harboring some sorrows out of, relationship you had with him in the past, and he's coming back to try to, or maybe he felt held back from coming back because of that. So there's lots of ways to look at this. Also, the fact that he feels he's suddenly missing you again and feeling some grief and wanted to reconnect.
So that may be why, I guess.
That could be it. The sorrow of attached to that as well. See, that's what I was trying to get to the bottom of here. Because I know there was something, and I didn't bring it up, but it was, you almost like read my mind, darn you. Because I really felt that maybe it was something to do with the passing.
Okay.
That, either he passed in a very sorrowful way that hurt you, or the fact that you could not be there with him at that time.
Well, there's that too. And I'm wondering if your father had either earth sign in his chart or earth sign aspects, qualities, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. Just a thought, because, of course, the pentacles do represent earth signs.
Well, an in and out father, and that's an interesting thing, too, because maybe that's maybe the Eight of Swords is a message from him. That this is, him coming back. We've got this. I'm pretty convinced of that. And that maybe he realizes that he wasn't always there for you, and he could have been. Okay? And maybe that's the message.
Right.
And he understands that might have caused some, sorrows or some stressors long-term in this relationship.
A lot of times when I look at the qualities of somebody saying, well, oh, I'm imprisoned, I wasn't able to do this. Sometimes those things are things we do to ourselves, that maybe it's a psychological thing too, that we say, oh, I can't do that, but it's really not true. You're just denying yourself your ability. And so maybe that was your father, was he imagined or thought that things were keeping him away, but it really was his own determination. It didn't mean that he didn't care about you or the family, but he let other things pull him away.
It's really interesting to me. And And I would recommend to you, if doing your own cards, if you do your own cards, to, if you feel a presence around you that somebody visited you, to start pulling cards and asking who it is and seeing what and what message they have for you. Another thing is, there's a deck, and I have it down here, but I don't think I can get it right now, but I can tell you the name of it. It is called The Beloved Dead, and it's a really...
Oh, yeah, that one.
I like to use this one rather... I don't always follow the book with how they use the deck. So, and I think they recommend this as well, but they've got their own readings in there that you can do to connect with spirits on the other side or to get answers from them. And I use the deck kind of serendipitously to find out who's with me now, who's visiting me now, and what's their message. It's a really good deck as well if you're interested in that kind of stuff. So I highly recommend it. But that's what we have for you. I hope that gave you some insight here.
Thanks, Andrea.
He was excited to know that I was going to go see him. Aw.
That's sad. Sorry.
So sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, so very sorry. I feel bad, too, because I wasn't there for my aunt when she needed me. I understand that feeling very well, and I ended up finding her on the floor. I was doing an errand for her that night, and I came by a little later than I should have, maybe. But of course, I didn't realize anything was wrong. I was just getting her some groceries. But I keep questioning, should I have been there sooner? If I had gotten there sooner, maybe I could have turned this around. And in your case, it's you could have said goodbye and or been there with him and tried to be there and part of the healing
You're welcome,
process.
Andrea.
Well, it's tough, but I'm glad he came to visit you, and that's really a nice thing. So you might want to explore that more on your own, or feel free to come back and ask if he has any other messages for you going forward. We'd be happy to do that for you. So good luck with that.
All right, so we are on Raymond, and Raymond has asked, will they hear from their fiancée Fabi soon?
All right. He said today or soon. I know
Today
that.
or soon, okay.
All right. And you're very welcome. We love doing this for everybody. We really do. Maybe not going so much into overtime, but that's our fault sometimes too. We could be a little bit more concise with some of our readings. I know I can blah blah, and I certainly know he can.
So true.
All right. Is it my deck?
Yes, it's your deck.
Here I am doing these
I used
again,
the
and I
ghost
didn't mean
tarot.
to. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. What haven't I used? Oh, I know. The cat deck. Okay. Oh, I went through all my decks today. I did. All of them.
I almost used all of my decks. I think I might have used one or two twice, so that's probably why.
It's hard for me to figure out if I can incorporate a circle deck in it, if I'm going to be able to tell upright and reversed. So I'm going to play with it on my own first, but I'm interested in pulling that deck out sometimes because it's beautiful. It's really pretty, and it's, I think, pretty nice for this time of year too. As we start a new cycle of spring, summer, fall, and winter. All right. Well, we've got the Knight of Pentacles upright. There are mushrooms in this deck. We have the King of Saucers reversed. Boy, it's all people again. What is with the people all the time? And the Knight of Dandelions, which is, oh, it's swords, reversed. Notice the air quality about the things flying in the air?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure about that.
And in Lenormand, it's the anchor. And the whip again. Whip it good.
Yeah, because I have branches in this deck too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to double check myself.
So, will you hear from Fabi today or soon?
Might have to do a quick yes/no on this.
Yeah, I'm not sure I get a definite answer
The
here.
Anchor and the Woman. It's really hard for me to say what's going on here with all these people.
There's movement.
There's movement for sure. That's the Knight of Pentacles, but it looks like it's slow. It seems like there might be delays still, that it may not happen quickly. If it happens at all, that there seems to be a delay. There seems to be almost a little bit of a deliberate slowness about it. And sometimes that's not a bad thing. People want to be sure of what they want to do before they go and do it. So I think that slowness could be an advantage here. And that is the, what is it again? The saucers?
Is it King of Saucers?
King of Saucers reversed. Because people want to make sure that their head is in the right place and their heart is in the right place before they make a move or maneuver. I think here that there may be some feelings from this person of, I don't know, insecurity, or not feeling secure in maybe making this contact at this time. They just may feel a little bit insecure emotionally right now.
Currently,
are they waiting for you to make contact and instead?
Currently, this sort of feels like maybe there's something bothering them too. It may not be about your relationship, but I feel that this card sort of indicates that they're not in their happiest mood right now. Something may be bothering them. Is it the fact that things are just going slower than they expect? I'm not sure. I could think that there. But on the other hand, that one sort of says things moving quicker. That's the Swords, right?
Yes, that's the Knight of Swords, right?
So...
Is it?
Right, it's the Knight. So is there a question here of pacing between you two not being connected? Like, is there time differences or things like that?
I think...
You're welcome.
I think that Knight of Swords is about choices. I think that Knight of Swords is about choices and decisions and whether they're going to make the decision to contact you soon or not. So, yeah, sometimes that happens fast. So it's possible here, if you feel things have been moving slowly, that maybe the pace will quicken, maybe. But also this could mean that they are trying to make a choice or decision, and they want to make sure that their emotions are in the right place as they do so. And so right here, somebody feels stuck right now. And that's what I feel is going on here. You know, I don't know if it's you that feels stuck because things aren't moving forward. I look at the woman as being maybe either
it's a whip,
or.
not a woman.
Oh, it's the whip again? Oh, I did it again.
I
even said the woman when I handed it to you, so I didn't even notice.
But I said
that.
It was the whip.
I know. So
King of Sausages.
Actually, you put it out there. So I think, let me take this back. I think for now, nothing is going to happen quick because somebody feels stuck. That's what I think. It will take maybe an action on your part to possibly move this forward. That's what I think.
I get the same feeling, but I do feel that there's just basically some contrary issues between you and Fabi that are maybe more related to your individual pacing or something like that. Like, I sort of feel like maybe you're not exactly in the same time zones, or you just have really competing hours or something between you that's kind of making it harder to connect. So the answer does look like not today or soon.
It does look like not today or soon. I don't think we have to do a yes/no on this.
No.
I think it's going to take a little bit more time. I think there's some potential here that things will turn out okay, but it's really pretty uncertain right now. You can feel free to ask again if nothing has happened, by the time you see us again in a week or so, or depending when you can get back here. I wish you luck with this. It may be something that I feel you might have to initiate or try to figure out what's going on through other channels, maybe. So good luck with that. I wish you luck with that.
Good luck. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, and it took so long, and we're giving you a kind of in between answer, but I think you get the idea here. It's still delayed a little bit. All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Wow. Big show. Crazy show. We had some great questions today. Keep them coming.
Absolutely.
Keep them coming. Thank you, Mr. M, once again for your generous donation.
Thank you.
And thanks, everybody, for your support, as always. Love doing this for you. Take care.
And the Unhappy Hour will be on in a couple of hours, probably by 9 o'clock tonight. So check it out,
Somehow,
please.
some way, we're bound to make your
Give us a like
unhappiness
for that.
happy. One way or another. So, bye-bye for now. We'll see you soon.
Bye.